So do you dare to dream, or do you dread your days? When I sold my soul by denying my dreams, I started dreading my days. I let myself be taken hostage long before I was taken hostage. No little boy wants to grow up and be a prison guard. And that's what I settled for. I really wanted to teach martial arts full time. And I also dreamed about being a police officer. And I did teach martial arts part-time, and I did become a part-time cop in 3 departments. In other words, I worked full-time in 3 different jurisdictions. It was nuts. And one day I decided to do the smart thing, the thing that everyone told me was smart, the thing that everyone around me did. I got me a real job with real benefits, and I went to work at the State Correctional Institution at Camp Hill. 4 months later, I got my head kicked in. Joy of joy. Actually, I protected my head pretty well, but I did have a shattered cheekbone, and my fingers and elbows were destroyed pretty much. Well, maybe not destroyed, but damaged. Mysterious nerve damage. They said they couldn't figure out what it was in the elbows. The fingers ended up healing fine. I guess I rolled around a lot. There's my kookaburras. I hope you could hear them. My mom used to sing, "Kookaburra lives in the old gum tree, Mary, Mary, king of the bushes, he." And I didn't know back then, but they sing in the dark. They're one of the first birds that we hear singing the sacred song of Thanksgiving, lifting the sun up into the sky, as my Native American mentors would say. But I digress, because this is the last day of my life as a 58-year-old. I turn 59 tomorrow. Oddly enough, I was born John the Baptist. I was supposed to be born on John the Baptist feast day. You can look that up. Neville Goddard taught John is the one who does violence to his desires. And boy, was I good at that growing up. I was named after the fella. And I always wanted to be John the Beloved. I don't know why. What little kid wants that? Apparently I did. But I sold out for doing violence to my desires. I settled on, instead of teaching martial arts and being a policeman, I went to be a prison guard. I sold my soul. And, well, I had a bad day at work. Who would have thunk? And I thank God, I thank myself every single day for that, because I desired something more. And I had agony back then, before getting beat. Because I knew I was here for more than that. So my birthday's tomorrow, April Fool's Day. The legend of the April Fools is a fascinating one, because the April Fools say that the new year begins on the first day of April. Which is interesting, because we're already a little bit into spring in the Northern Hemisphere on the first day of April. And my Native American mentors, they all said that the year begins in the budding tree's moon. That's when I was born, in the month of April. I managed to move around the world, move into the potter's house, literally a house made of mud, built in 1970 by a couple that squatted on government land and built a one-room house out of mud, a little hut, basically, a little cottage out back. They lived in that for 10 years. They added a second room. And then they went to the government and said, "Hey, we've been the caretakers of this valley for 10 years, and we claim it to be ours." And the government gave them what's worth $4 million now. $4 million worth of land. And the values keep going up. But they had a dream. And even if they didn't know about Neville Goddard, and I don't know if they did or not, they weren't denying their dreams. They weren't denying their divinity. From what I can tell, you are the dance of humanity and divinity, and if you're like most people, you deny it most of the time. Trying to think through, trying to figure out the hows. Defending your hard-earned territory. Neville Goddard's wife said, well, Neville Goddard's wife had a dream, and in the dream, it was all about always be investing. Your time, your money, your imaginal act. And most people spend. They don't do Joseph Goddard to the max every morning. I do. Sarah does. Stuart does. Well, they do their thing. That's fine. Or they do nothing. That's fine too. You modify the method, you get what you get. Bread is made with 4 basic ingredients. And if you modify that extensively, it ain't bread. The other way I always put it is, how much cat shit do you want in your coffee? I prefer butter. I love my butter coffee, but I digress. Meanwhile, so it's my last day as a 58-year-old. It's my first day tomorrow as a 59-year-old. I'm so looking forward. But the thing is, I can't wait. I've already moved. I came out of my mom's womb 3 months early, and apparently I've moved a day early into a new me. A new expression of me. And why the hell not? If you're living from states, you can move in the twinkle of an eye. If you're living from stories, well, then you're going to have a lot of drama and dilemma. If you're living from states, you're engaging the power of possibility. You're honoring your divinity. And you're accepting your wishes in your fullness. If you're living from stories, Joseph Campbell diagrammed out the hero's journey. And there's always drama, there's always dilemma, there's always risk. And there's sometimes loss. What if you couldn't lose? What if you were never designed to live solely by stories? Stories are great, by the way. I love telling them. Stories convey wisdom. Stories invite you to entertain wisdom. That's why they called them wisdom teachings in the old days. Nowadays, man, we will listen to the stupidest stories on the news and the Netflix from the neighbors, and we wonder why our lives suck. Because life was never meant to be a story. Stories are what you tell about life. States are how you live it. So that's it. My last day at 58. I'm going to invite you to make some investments in yourself in just a moment. But the big investment right now, I want you to imagine something yummy that you could live the rest of your life with. And I invite you to suspend disbelief and accept it as true as we go into the silence. You ever feel like you're swimming against the tide? That's one option. You can swim against the tide, or you can surf the waves. I invite you to join me at Surf City. Here we come. I invite you to sing the sacred song of Thanksgiving instead of listening to the itty-bitty shitty committee inside your head. I invite you to explore with us. If you got gold today, NevilleGoddardStore.com. Go there, get shit. We just redesigned the whole store. NevilleGoddardStore.com. Yeah, I did that this morning. I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. I had an epiphany about that too. What if your whole life could be lived with what you hear here today? Just saying. Start playing. My name is Mr. 2020. You've been listening to the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only: the power of vision, the power of the wonderful human imagination, the divine dance of you. Because you are how God has the adventure of a lifetime. Sharing is caring. If you're happy I shared with you today, why not share this with somebody? Share this a few places. Let's spread the sunshine and the smiles. And let me know. Have a great day. See ya.